Yeah, I think a lot of people talk about all wins are the same. They're not. We all know that. It sounds good, but it's not. For us to have been where we're at, facing that situation, to respond that way, made just really proud, Coach. We did a lot of talking on the way back from Vanderbilt, and talk is cheap, but when they put it into action like they did in practice and carry it over to a game, that is a sign that we are growing up. We took our punches. We learned some valuable lessons. I know I did as a coach. I know they did individually. We got a few things fixed, not everything. We still got a lot more work to do, but I've just got to feel like that was one of our best efforts of the season.
You talked about, obviously, the ball went through the basket more.
Yeah,
but where did that start?
I think it started on the airplane on the way home from Vanderbilt. I really do. I think just the way we talked about it, the encouragement that each teammate gave each other teammates, the things they talked to me about, they were very insightful. The list, I asked them all to send me 3 things during the flight, and they all sent me at least 3. Some sent me 17. And that kid had only been on campus for about 3 days. Sailor had some unbelievable insights because she's not been here. She had no filter. She had no lens to look through it, and some of the stuff was there. Destiny Oberg pointed out a couple of passing drills that she felt like would start to get practice off to a better start. We did them. It obviously got us off to a better start tonight. Avery Hughes pointed out that in the last 2 or 3 weeks to a month, maybe going back further than that, we don't high-five each other as much anymore. The touches, physical touches, had diminished from last year. And she was, again, spot on. So we focused on those things more than we did. We had a shoot-around today. So it's going to be hard to pinpoint what it was, but y'all know that we're all a little stitious around here, so I can assure you we'll keep some of those things going.
And I guess I'll follow with Riley Langerman. We've talked about everything she brings to this team. Obviously, put the ball in the basket, add that to it. But what was the difference with her? I mean, just being confident?
Maybe. I don't know. It's got to be that. I think she's had people tell her, she's had people try to give you confidence. Nobody can give you confidence. Nobody can give you confidence. You have to. Something good has to happen. I think she made it. I think she made that first one. She caught it. She shot it. Didn't think about it. Then the next one. Then the next one. Then it was like, is this going in? Is this one going in? And then just the excitement of all that. But she did all. Here's what I love about her. Even though she was making shots, she continued to do those other things too. She kept 2 balls alive, one that ended up down here, tip to tip, and I thought that the fact that she was able to do the other stuff and that. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. We only had 2 turnovers as a team, so there was nobody going to have too bad of a number on that night. And then to survive, Alana got sick at halftime. She had played great in the first half. She gave us a +10 lift in that first half, and we were counting. And then when she went down, even though we had a little bit of foul trouble with Sam, I thought everybody just found a way to dig down. Knowing that we have an off day probably on Thursday helped, but we'll see whether we do or we don't.
Is Alana doing okay?
Don't know yet. I haven't checked. She was just not feeling well and couldn't stay out on the bench, and I'll check on her as soon as she's okay. I don't know what's wrong, but I did check. If she hadn't been okay, I wouldn't have been in here. She's okay. Yeah.
You mentioned the turnovers briefly. What kind of made it possible to have the fewest ever?
I hope, believe, feel, whatever word you want to put in there, that it had something to do with our preparation. The way we did it, I thought Coach Todd, the way we broke down our offense the last 2 days, we worked on it from the jump ball instead of the dead ball. We worked them in lineups. Hey, this is the plays we're going to run against that. I thought he called a great game. I got the ball in the right people's hands at the right times. Had the right ball handlers handling it. I think that all just kind of adds up. Now, Missouri's not a team that forces a lot either, so I'm not going to sit here and we typically don't turn it over a lot, but 2 is just you don't even draw that up thinking that's a real possibility. It is. I do believe that. I don't think you can give it to anybody, but I think you can transmit it to somebody. And I think everybody just fed off of each other. And I do believe that. I think those things continued just to go all the way through our team. You could hear just the way they talked in timeouts, the way they were talking to each other on the floor. Even when they would make a run, I think they got it to 9. Did they get it to 9 in the second half? They did. Yeah. There wasn't a panic situation. Thought we managed their runs, and then their ability to isolate. Haley Frank and Lauren Hansen and Blackwell are such tough matchups. I'd said if Mama Dembele is the SEC Player of the Week, it's probably been a good thing for us because we were going to make her do what she did, and she tried to will her team. She really did. She took advantage of us doubling in the post and sagging and being in there and help. But I think at the end of the day, that's probably why we held a really, really good scoring team to 73.
Hey, Coach, after the last game in the first quarter, I think you guys had 7 points in the first quarter. The first 8 minutes of the day, all 5 starters scored. How special was it to see all those starters score?
Good that, again, like I said, hopefully it was some of the things we worked on. Obviously being home helps. Our crowd brings a really unique energy to our kids. It was a really tough environment the other night down there at Vanderbilt, speaking to that quarter with the snow, and there was only 35 people there. I know that because I counted them during the media timeout. For us to be home was huge. Our fans do lift us up. It was a great crowd. What is that, 3,600 for a team that's lost – have we lost 4 in a row or 3? We lost 3 in a row. Felt like 7. But for them to come out, knowing that they would not be able to stay after the game with the new policies, that was pretty exciting to see a full middle section of the bowl.
Coming to the game, how special was it to get your first conference victory of the season?
Man, they're all massive. It's so hard to win a game in this league, especially I think this year. You look at the net rankings. You look at, this is a Missouri team that almost beat Baylor and did beat South Carolina. So any win in the SEC is a special win. They are so hard to come by. And in this year, I think 7 or 8 is probably going to be the number that get to the NCAA tournament. So you can't get to 2 till you get to 1. So glad to have that first one out of there. Well, you celebrate it. I think too many people move on too fast. Y'all have heard me say before that 24-hour rule doesn't exist for us. We'll cut it off when it starts to lose. I think we will watch more film probably than we ever have. We'll celebrate the good clips. There'll be a high no Ben, and Mario probably already working on one. It'll be out before I probably get out of the press conference. But I'm speaking at the Tip-Off Club tomorrow, and we have a luncheon on Tuesday. That makes things so much easier. So you ride that. You go out and you can talk about it. Again, like I said, we haven't solved all of our issues. Some of it's going to come through experience, and some of it's going to come through having to win some battles in the SEC. So it's going to make the next 3 days very, very enjoyable.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports.